What's up, cousins?
What's going on?
Hope you guys are having an amazing week. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and share the videos.
All of the above.
And follow us on our social medias below. Thank you.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
So somebody slid in your DM, right?
Okay, so someone came into my DMs. I might have posted something, and they came into my DMs, and they were like, do you get along with your in-laws, right? And they were really discussing like their relationship with their in-laws and asking me like my opinion. So then that brought up like how we feel about our in-laws.
Right. I think it's very important to have a good relationship, or at least attempt to have a good relationship with your in-laws, especially if you are into like blended holidays, birthdays, like all those good celebrations, because everybody wants to have fun when you're around each other, you know?
Yeah. And all of our holidays are blended.
Right.
Like our Christmases are blended, and birthdays, like the girls' birthdays.
Right.
So they were talking about their kind of situation, and it made me think about ours. I've always gotten along with your mother. Like there's never been any issues. But I guess some people lean on their partner. Like if there was an issue with their mother, because it seems like a lot of the times it's like the mother-in-law that people have issues with, that they kind of depend on their partner to handle it for them.
Which rightfully so. Like, yeah. In some instances, like especially the beginning, if there is like a divide with either, you know, your mother-in-law or your father-in-law, to address it with your partner and then just have them go back and, you know, until you guys get comfortable with being able to have direct feedback and conversations with the in-laws.
And then I'll preface this to say this, right? Because both moms watch our vlogs. We don't use the term in-laws.
Right.
I call Sequina's mother moms.
And I call Jamilla's mom Ma Duke. So from here on out, from this video on out, when I say Mom Dukes, I am saying Jamilla's mom, but I will never ever say Jamilla's mom again. Ma Dukes is my mom.
Because we got a little feedback about that.
Okay. So I have two moms.
Yeah.
My mom and Jamilla's mom, but my mom, I call her mom, and Ma Dukes.
She calls her mommy. So yeah, so the only reason sometimes why we make that kind of statement is if we're trying to say like, okay, this is something that Jamilla's mother did or Sequina's mother did, but we don't use those terms like in real life, basically. So, but you have a very interesting relationship with my mom.
Right. So, me and Ma Dukes kind of had like, we kind of hit it off from the beginning. That's like a story time. When the first time that I went to their house, like I stayed for like a whole weekend.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was a Benadryl situation. We could get into that story time. Just drop it in the comments if you guys want to hear that. I don't know if we shared it, but whatever. So, you know, with us, I don't know if we ever really used Jamil as the middle person. I think we kind of like, whenever we kind of feel the type of way about something, we kind of just say what we have to say. And
right then and there.
And keep it moving. Yeah. Like, you know... And it's nothing disrespectful or anything. It's just like, you know, hey, you know, I'm sorry that you felt that way, but that's not what I meant. This is what I meant, period. Keep it moving.
And sometimes it happens so quick. I'm like, what just happened here? And then the good thing about all of us is that all of us, when I say all four of us, we are all very direct, and none of us take things like too personally. Right. Like, and I think we all have a very interesting sense of humor. So maybe we all in the beginning had to like understand each other's sense of humor, but then like that was it.
Right. And then when you get over to the men in the relationship, I can say in all transparency, I don't think I really pushed to have a relationship with Jamilla's dad, but we are very cordial. You know, if they're like, I think I had a question maybe last year about a bike or something. I reached out to shot him a text, but you know, me and him have never like went on like out by ourselves or anything like that.
So I think I don't know, like I really can't speak to like why my dad feels that way. I don't think I've ever like asked him. I don't really ask him too many questions. I think it might just be a toss over of me and his relationship or whatever. It's definitely not, I don't think it's definitely like a gay thing.
No, it's just like, and like you said, like I'm just falling in line with the dynamics of y'all relationship.
Of an existing dynamic, exactly. Right. So, and that's that. So, and then for Pops.
Which is my mom's husband.
So for Pops, I feel like from the moment that I met him, him and your mother, that I was like in their family, right? Like it was nothing, like from the moment that we were engaged, I became, what does he call me? Your oldest daughter. I'm middle. What is that term?
Child.
Middle child. Yeah, he calls me middle child. And then our sister Christine is the youngest. Right. So it was always it always felt like family, and he even spoke at our wedding and gave both of us away, which I thought was like super duper sweet. So for us, we've kind of been able to blend families. It hasn't been too hard.
Right.
I think I really wanted to do a video where our mothers came on and discussed when we first got engaged, and I'm still going to push for that, but I think they're both a little shy. Yeah. But
I don't want y'all to have to watch nothing where people are shy, child. It'd be dreadful to watch.
Anyway, so I just remember, I want to say this is the second time I met your mother, but we had gone to South Carolina. We had just gotten engaged, and she gave me a big hug, and she was talking to me. She said, well, let me see the ring. And then because I was like a little worried because Sequina might have introduced her to like a couple of girls in the past, which is not a big deal, but I didn't want her to think like I was just another, like, I'm trying to say this without being shady. I didn't want her to think I was like in the rotation, like this was like for real. So I was like very glad that she welcomed me with open arms. You got something to say about that?
Nothing.
Okay. And how did you feel from the moment like you met my mom?
I just felt like, like homegirl vibes. Like I was just chilling when I was chilling with you guys. It was just very easy going. It was just a cool situation. Like I felt extremely comfortable. Like it was almost like I lucked up, I got a cool term, mother-in-law. I call her my Dukes. Cause like honestly, it's a blessing having two moms, and like I can call her for advice, like to rant when I want to have my petty moments. She understands. Like when I want to have like, okay, take your mom hat off. I need like a friend. Yeah. Like she can do all that. So it's pretty amazing. So I just like encourage everyone like to at least try, to get to know your in-laws and use your partner as the segue, to get there if there's any conflict or tension there.
And if you are the partner because I will admit, like, I'm not someone who's like, I'm not going to talk to my mom about that. Like, you need to talk. Like Ms. Quita said, I'm like, you need to talk to her about that. If you are the partner who is the go-between, maybe you're caught in between, like, your mother and your significant other, there are some instances where you're going to have to push your boundaries because you do essentially have to keep both of those women happy. But you do have to ask yourself in the situation, like, if I take all like my personal feelings out of it, who's right and who's wrong in this circumstance? And then if you are the partner in the situation and you're having issues with your mother-in-law, you always have to remember that it might be something that your partner may have said to their mother.
Facts.
That you don't know about.
Facts.
That's why she may be upset with you.
Because people will tell stuff and vent to you, to their parents, and then you wonder why there's a shift. Is the shift because of some stuff that they might have talked about that you don't know. Right.
I think the good thing about all of us is that, well, with Sequina and I think we're very like transparent about if we're annoying each other in the moment, kind of like no matter who's around. Right. And everybody's like that. Like, so our parents kind of get that all at the same time.
Right.
So we all kind of like discuss it and have a like quick therapy session, and then like everybody moves on. So it's nothing like, oh, well, I heard that. Like, I've never felt like we were in the middle of an argument and your mother treated me any differently. Right. Like, I've never felt like that.
Yeah, she's not like that. And then, like, another thing, there's another dynamic, because once you, like, get along with your in-laws, then you have to kind of get the two in-laws to like each other as well. So it's like, all right, I'm cool with y'all now. Let's get the parents
everybody
to
be
meet
cool.
Each other. Yeah. So, like, that's, like, a whole process in itself. Good thing that Jamilla's my Dukes... my Dukes and my mom and pops, they all get along. Like they have their little inside jokes. Our moms will duck off in a corner at an event and just sit there and talk. And, they're all around the same age,
What's so funny is after this video drops, it's gonna be a lot of commentary. It's gonna be a lot of stuff said. That's funny.
And then you have your siblings too that you also have to throw in the mix.
It's my brother.
Yep, I hit it off with Raggy like
from the beginning.
From the beginning, we were just kind of always cool. We text or whatever. We have always a cool situation because he was like young when I met him.
And then Christine, because she's like, Christine is Pop's daughter,
Right.
and then she became in the family when they got married. And so then it's like you have two dynamics working at the same time, but it hasn't felt like that.
Right.
Like family, I think we've all just felt the same way. Like family is what you make it and who you call it. So we will get, when they come into town, we'll all have like meetings, like we'll have a family meeting, or we'll pull up and have like a family call. It's just been, I think we're very blessed in that way.
Definitely. So like if you, like I said, if you are the person who is struggling with your in-laws, I mean, talk to it. I know sometimes you cannot tell somebody about their mama. Let me tell you that. You can't tell nobody about their mama. It is tough. So I'm not even going to sit here and
even when they ask your opinion.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's just perfect or anything. It is just a work in progress. And I think long as you're actively trying and communicating those struggle points with your partner, I think that there can be some light at the end of the tunnel. And
then always remember, like, I'm too good at compartmentalizing. I can't say that word, but do it a little bit, right? Like really like take yourself out the situation and say, okay, if this was my mother, how would I feel? If this was my partner, how would I feel? Or if I was outside the situation, how would I feel? And that may help you interact better, because no one wants to hurt anyone's feelings. But I'm also a fan of like teaching someone in the moment. Like if someone says something to me that could be like a little offensive, whether it's my mom, Sequina's mom, Pops, anybody, I kind of like maybe repeat it back to them in a way. And sometimes you'll notice like people won't know how harsh something sounds until you repeat it back to them, and they're like, oh, I didn't even mean it like that.
Right. True.
You know, because sometimes we're sensitive and we're taking it personal, and that's not even the case. And then sometimes people are taking shots at you.
Just like that, period.
No, because I think of the girl who sent me a DM, like, you know, it sounded like her mother-in-law was taking shots at her, but when I give advice, I try not to give too much advice, because it's so much background that you never know about a person. You know, like Sequina and her mother had a whole relationship before I came involved, and my mother and I had a whole relationship, and you bring all of that together when you blend families.
Right, agreed.
Yeah.
So, you know, drop it down in the comments if you have an awesome relationship with your in-laws, if it's something that's a work in progress, or you're just not interested in all. I'm just curious just to see.
Yeah, or leave some advice for people who maybe need some advice. Right. Our advice, again, is just like to communicate and to go use your partner as a buffer as long as you can. But if you have the relationship with that parent, with that person, to, you know, have a direct relationship too.
Yes, because Jamilla's mom has cussed me out. And I wanted to share that story time with you guys, but it was so long.
Oh, we didn't remember?
We can't remember all the details, and I'm not.
Because it might have been a couple times that she cussed you out.
Maybe, but yes.
Yeah, we can't remember.
I can't remember, but yeah. But I mean, I'm not like exempt from cuss outs like today. I can get cussed out today.
No, I think that she had said she cussed us both out the other night. Not cuss. It was like a little fuss.
It's a little like, you know.
It was
check you. Don't forget. I know you old. You
BTW.
Grown, and
when I call you, you better answer the phone.
But this is serious. Like, don't make me come looking for you.
Yeah, that's what we got the other day.
But yeah, so make sure you guys drop it below. Don't forget to share and follow us on social media,
please.
And before we go, I don't want you guys to think that we ignored all this beauty behind us for our new backdrop. But we have a new series coming in April, and before we jump into the series, we're going to actually show you guys the background of our new media. This is the new sit down area, but we will go in depth about in our next sit down video.
But leave a comment like what you see. If you like just a little bit that you see, leave a comment, let us know.
If you don't like it, I don't care, because it's staying. Bye. Boom.